Now, just a heads up, for the rest of the year, you're going to get a lot of gear talk. Typically, the end of the year is when a lot of tech manufacturers, where there's camera people, computers, Apple, so on and so forth, they do drop all their newest stuff at the end of the year, gearing up for the holidays. So I will be here every step of the way. I'm going to try to break down the gear that I care about. And I think if you're listening to this, a lot of the gear that I care about is gear that you care about. So just a heads up. But speaking of which, now could be your chance to step up your video shooting to a high-end cinema camera, because the red Komodo X is significantly cheaper now. This was a $10K starting price camera, and now it has dropped.
$6,995 for a Komodo X? Get out of here! This camera costs $10,000, and now it is basically $7,000. And that's a $3,000 price difference. And that's pretty substantial. They didn't just drop the price of the Komodo X, they also dropped the price of the OG Komodo. That now actually goes for right around $5,000, which means that camera, which is a phenomenal camera, and I shot with it for years, becomes even more obtainable. But you know what this also means? The used Komodos that are currently on the market are now gonna actually be even more obtainable.
Okay, so if you're kind of unfamiliar with the camera hierarchy, I guess, and where this camera lands in that category, so when you come to more like, I guess, like wedding videographers and just like consumer-based hobbyists, prosumer, DSLR, like people that are doing both photo and video, you're going to be more in the DSLR category. So the Sony FX4s, FS3s, I think they're called now, and then your Canon, what are they, 70s, 8Ds, whatever those are at now. And then as you go a step above that, you're entering the cinema line. So you got the FX6, the Sony FX6, which is what I have, or the FX3. And then you also got like the Canon C400s, which were recently announced. And then you have the Komodo X. The Komodo X, I would even argue, is slightly above this category. So creeping more into like the REs and more professional cameras. So this camera is definitely more on the Hollywood side, if you want to break down the hierarchy.
So let's think about where this currently sits. That means that the Komodo X is now technically cheaper than the Canon C400. It also means that it's only $1,000 more than the Sony FX6. And as far as I'm concerned, the image out of this is better than both of those cameras. So what does this mean for people who have been thinking about buying a new cinema camera? Well, honestly, I think this means your decision is going to be much harder to make. I mean, this is by far one of the best cameras that I have ever shot with. When it comes to purely image, just image alone, nothing really stands up to the Komodo X.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but earlier in the year, there was a story that Nikon acquired Red cameras, and I was blown away by that because I never thought we'd ever see something like that happen, and it was definitely like a power play from Nikon. And it seems like what they're doing is trying to get Red cameras into more people's hands. So introducing the Red line to more video shooters and not be so exclusive to only people with the money. And I think it is a smart move because I want to try it. Do I need it? Not really, but I kind of want to try it. Now, these sound bites that you're hearing are from Brandon Washington from Creative Fam Academy. And he gives his closing advice on whether you should buy the camera or not.
You know, there's something interesting that Red said in that email, and is that they want to be able to give a lot more people access to their cameras. And price drops like this is literally putting your money where your mouth is. Like, literally they are saying now, and maybe it has something to do with the Nikon acquisition, I don't know. But what I do know is that more people are going to be able to get their hands on a Komodo X. Full transparency, a lot of people have asked me, should I get a Komodo X? Is it worth buying a Komodo X? And it's been kind of hard because I get it. It's $10,000. That is not cheap. But at $7,000, oh my God, it's kind of a no-brainer. I don't really have much more to say on this topic other than this is absolutely insane. If this is what we can expect from this new Nikon Red thing, like, I am all here for it. The excitement is back at a whole new level. I mean, I think there are going to be way more people picking up Komodo X's now because the price is way more affordable. I think there's going to be a lot more people picking up OG Komodos. And if this is where the pricing structure is starting to sit, well, yeah, this means I'm even more excited about what Red is going to have coming out soon.
Now, I'm definitely not going to buy one of these new Red Komodo X's, but Brandon did bring up a good point, because now the used cameras, the secondhand market, those prices are going to be even lower. So that's where I'm at right now. I've already started scouring. There's some really good prices out there. And I'm not encouraging any of you guys to hop out there right now. If you're kind of a beginner in the shooting space, in the video shooting space, I would go with a DSLR first, something that can shoot photos and video very well. If you are a video shooter, or if you get a lot of video work and you're ready to step it up, this is a great camera to have. You could do a lot of client work and then also start doing your personal films that you want to do, or YouTube channel or whatever. So this could be your chance to own a Red camera. It's exciting. That was always like the big camera to us as budding videographers. Like, well, one day I want to get a Red. I want to, even just seeing one out in the wild, it's like, oh, is that a Red? We'll see.